management. Dan, what are police doing now to try to find this missing runner?
They're doing all they can, digging into the subject they have in custody, anyone who's associated with him, to see what his digital footprint looks like, to see if they can track his whereabouts the last couple of days since his disappearance, seeing his associates, what they're up to. They're also going to look at, is this a crime of, there's two ways this occurred. We know a kidnapping occurred. Was this a predatory kidnapping where someone was going down the street and observed a target and decided to just take action and make an attack? Or was this a planned attack that was directly put in play where there were logistics and support for it, and they're going to have to dig in to see whether or not that is possibly the case here. They're going to look at computers, they're going to look at text messaging, phone calls, information, people involved in the victim's life, and all the people involved in the suspect's life to see if they can make some correlations as to what exactly went on here. At the same time, they're looking for the community output, anyone who saw something, who notices something out of the ordinary, to see if they can maybe find her and return it to her family.
Yeah, and as you mentioned that, we're just getting some information now on the arrest warrant claiming that they saw the suspect cleaning the interior of his GMC terrain floor with cleaner, and that he was washing his clothes in the house. So this goes to show that police have been talking to people in the neighborhood trying to figure out where exactly this missing person is, and looking at that and hearing those details, what does that tell you?
Yeah, so we're not going to give up hope yet, but when we train people to defend themselves, we always tell people that you don't want to go to a secondary location, right? If you're the subject of attack, you fight that location when the attacker comes to you. Oftentimes, we see these things escalate when a victim is taken to a secondary location. So that often leads to other crimes and bad outcomes.
Do we have a sense if this is a crime where somebody acted alone, or whether there are more people involved here? And do we also have a sense as to whether or not this suspect is cooperating with police?
We don't know that yet, whether there's a cooperation level or not. I would suspect there was more than one person involved in this. Based on the law enforcement response that I saw, it looked like they had prepared to, engage in more than one suspect at a time. I know there's somebody else who's under arrest during the course of the investigation where firearm and narcotics were involved. It'll be interesting to see the links between those individuals. But, this could be a predatory attack where one person's driving down the street, or it could be something that was planned and thought out.
Do we have a sense in this case, or generally speaking, if there is a suspect that is not cooperating with law enforcement, what's the next route here? How do police officers deal with someone who they've taken into custody and who isn't cooperating?
Billionaire
they're allowed their right not to cooperate. We
heiress
respect that.
was kidnapped
we will
by
put pressure
jogger.
on family, friends, associates to see what they know.
Thank
see
you
what
for watching.
they're willing to give up. And some
Please
of that information
subscribe
may be
if
able
you
to
haven't.
leverage the non-cooperators to come forward.
I'll keep you up to date if I get any more news.
And evidence was recovered. When that's presented to the attorney who's representing the person who's not cooperating, a decision sometimes is made
They
to
do have a person of
cooperate
interest.
and come forward. So pressure on all the folks in his inner circle that may have information that can be helpful. It will be applied going forward as the officers and authorities go through whatever information they have to try and sift through in there.
Dan, we have seen runners abducted before. Usually there are cases where women runners have been abducted. Women runners are also very often harassed verbally, physically. What can and should runners and joggers do to be more aware of their surroundings? How can they defend themselves and make sure they're safe when they go out for a run in the morning?
You should run in the areas you're comfortable with that are, where you're not alone. I know it's tough when you're doing a 4 a.m. run, 4:30 a.m. run. You should, wear good illumination, carry with you your cell phone, maybe have, certain devices, security devices that are bright lights, that are noise-emitting devices that you can alert others around you. And you, as I said before, if somebody's assaulting you, your best chance to survive that assault is to have that fight initially. Going to a secondary location oftentimes increases the intensity of violence, and you want to stand and fight your ground there.
Thanks for watching,
Go in if you have
Patriots.
to, scream, yell, and get
Hope they
others
find
to assist
her.
you.
Say prayers that they find her
Being
alive.
aware of your surroundings, and if you have to, running in pairs.
See you
It's
later.
unfortunate we have to have a
God
conversation like
bless.
that, but there are people who are predators who pry on people when they think they have an opportunity to take somebody that they feel is weaker than